Now you look like Kevin Smith.
I do look like Kevin Smith. Well, hello, one and all. Welcome to another episode of the show. Andrew, you've joined us once again. Thank you. It's a very exciting time. The NFL season is upon us. College football is upon us. Tomorrow is the backyard brawl. Pitt, West Virginia. Hundreds of years of hatred. And
The 5-year absence.
five. I think it's more than five. Actually, I think it's 10.
Really?
Yeah, 2011.
10 years?
Yeah, I actually think Andrew was at the last one with me
Hey.
in Heinz Field. It was the
Yeah.
last. Maybe it was 2012, but the last one to be played in Heinz Field. Andrew and I were there. Got him a little student ticket,
So,
and
We rushed in. I got the whole student experience.
the
It was
whole
awesome.
experience.
Yeah,
Man,
it was great.
I remember those days. Man, that's not fun. There's a
It
lot
was
of
a little.
anxiety
It was
there.
a little. Yeah, it was a little anxiety attack, but it's okay.
I mean,
We
when
powered through it.
it's the morning. It's like a crisp summer day. Actually, it's in the fall. But you get that little bit of a rush. You got a little buzz going. It's no problem to run up to the seats.
You sprint.
Oh yeah. Well, it's
You
first come
push
first
everyone
serve.
out of the way too.
Oh yeah,
That's
first
right.
come first serve. So my friend group had a pretty good rate of getting a row. If they weren't on the first row, they were on the second or third. Then you just have to wait 2 hours for the game to actually start.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that waiting was some of the best waiting we ever did, though.
Yeah,
We didn't even move. Like we just pretty much stood there.
you can't. You lose your spot.
Yeah, you lose it. You just stand, hang
Yeah.
out.
Scott, Andrew? What do you remember about that event?
Well, so I mainly remember like the whole just like we were tailgated a little bit at your apartment pretty much. And then we like went down to Heinz Field and we were like, okay, you were prepping me for this whole like we gotta sprint in. It's pretty intense. And then after we did that, it's all just kind of a blur from there. Because I was like not really ready for the whole experience, I think, of being in the Pitt student section. So I had never done it. I was still in high school at that time. So I was like, this is crazy for me. But from what I remember, it was a pretty okay game.
Doesn't sound like you remember.
No, like I just remember hanging out with you, and it was like more about hanging out with you.
Mhm.
And that was the cool part to me. Was like, oh, it's like Kevin invited me to do this. It's pretty cool.
I think West Virginia won though, didn't they?
I honestly don't remember. I don't remember either.
Wow.
I mean, it was 10 years
God.
ago.
Sure, you keep reminiscing. I'll look it up.
Actually,
I mean-
Andrew. When Andrew looks it up, Scotty, I want to hear your.
Okay.
I want to hear your experiences.
Well, so my first backyard brawl, and I think actually my only in-person backyard brawl experience was my freshman year. It was my freshman year of college. Pitt was playing, they were playing West Virginia in Pittsburgh. That was the game where Darrelle Revis, who was obviously one of the best cornerbacks of like all time, or at least in our era, he was still in college at Pitt. That was the play where he caught this punt return, and then Derek Kinder, who was another wide receiver, just absolutely blindside block wrecked this dude, and everyone lost our minds when he knocked that dude off his feet, and then we didn't realize that Darrelle Revis was still running down the field. He had some crazy spins on the sideline and scores a touchdown. It was one of the coolest plays I've ever seen in my life. We were there in person, and that was a blast. Second most memorable backyard brawl experience wasn't physically there in person, but it was that next year. It was the epic, 13-9 win that put Ohio State in the national championship game and knocked number one West Virginia out. Thankfully, Pat McAfee missed like 5 field goals that night to make sure that Pitt won, and that set the stage for Pitt being like halfway decent in football for a few years, because that was like a marquee win that got some good recruits and all that. Like it was awesome. Those were the two most memorable experiences for me in the backyard.
Yeah, I think West Virginia was number 2, but they were a
They
shoo-in
might have
for
been number 2.
they were a shoo-in for the national championship game.
They just needed to win. That's right.
So West Virginia, the one that we went to, Kev. Here's why we went, because it was November 26th, so it was for our birthday. That's
right.
That's why we went. And Pitt lost 35-10.
Nice,
So
nice.
that's why we don't remember much about
That's
it.
why we don't remember.
Blocked.
Wow.
Just suppressing memories, but yeah.
Makes sense.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, pretty solid.
Yeah, no, Pitt, I don't, Scotty, I might not to push back on anything you said, but I don't even know that Pitt was that good after that game. I mean, we knocked them off, but then
they won. They went to the Orange Bowl like 2 years after that.
Did they?
They're pretty good.
I don't know. So. I mean, I remember that the last 10 years really. Pitt's had a bit of a resurgence with the Nard Dog. I mean, they've
one that you were talking about though was the 100th backyard brawl though.
That's right. Yeah. It was.
That's probably another reason why it was a little more special.
Yeah. But over that period of time, it was basketball, and then both programs kind of fell off in the early 2010s, or whatever we're gonna call it. But now they're back. I don't know. Tomorrow night, Scotty and I will be there. The first one in 10 years. It's going to be two former USC quarterbacks, teammates in 2019. It's crazy how that stuff works out, right?
It is.
Pitt's coming off an ACC championship. We're going to get upset.
We might get upset. It has happened before.
Pitt doesn't get nice things. Okay, I'll never forget. Was it last season or the year before they lost? They were like, I don't know. They were ranked and they lost to Western Michigan. They have a tendency to give up a big one. Pitt, the basketball program is the exact same way, except they give up multiple bad ones.
A lot of bad ones.
So what do we have? What are you looking forward to tomorrow, Scotty?
Well, so tomorrow, and I hate to break this to you. I was going to maybe wait. Maybe you just would find this out tomorrow. But Katie is a huge WVU fan, and so she's going to be sporting the wrong colors with us. So
that's interesting.
I'm looking forward.
I thought she went to Liberty.
She went to West Liberty, but just like I didn't go to Ohio State, I still like Ohio State. She likes West Virginia. So,
all right. I don't know. I didn't really know how to take that. I'm actually I'm actually more upset about that than I thought I'd be.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. The house divided, as they say. So I'm looking forward to that dynamic tomorrow. And I really hope Pitt can win. It'd be really good to see them win and start the season off with the W. And that's
going to be one of these bullshit things you do that, like, even if Pitt loses, you'll still be happy because she's happy.
No, I won't do that. Not with sports.
Yeah, thank the Lord, because I'd be pissed at you for that. Me and Dad have to represent. I don't know. I mean, now that you told me that, my whole day is like my whole perception of how this is going to go. It's shaken.
This man says not for sports, and aren't you the same one who bet on Michigan to beat Ohio State so that if they lost, you wouldn't feel that bad about it?
You did do that, didn't you, Scotty?
Yeah, I did. And I won money on that. It was good.
You coward. You got too many. You got your hands in too many cookie jars, buddy.
Too many cookie jars.
I like cookies.
Well, they're just going to catch up to you one day, and you'll be looking around. You won't have a fandom to support. Burning bridges. Ugh.
Oh no, nothing's been burned.
I've told Lindsay. She almost went to Michigan for theater school, and I told her that at the time, if she had gone there, she's asked me if she went to Michigan instead of Baldwin Wallace, would we still have been together? And I said honestly, we might not have ever dated because of that. I mean. It's just it's just a strong enough barrier for me that, now that I know her and we've been together, obviously if she took up a liking to it, I'd be upset. It's not like I'm going to get divorced. But at the time, it's like, I don't know. I don't really need that in my life.
I mean, I don't blame you. I feel the same exact way. So,
Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on to what exactly?
What are you looking forward to most tomorrow, though? I don't. You asked me, but I didn't.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Didn't
I
ask you.
started talking to you about this maybe yesterday, or the day before, but with the ticket prices getting so high and this kind of all happening last minute, I was really warming up to the idea of watching at home. Watching football specifically on TV has started to become a little bit more enjoyable than actually being there in person. Now I get that this is a big game. I want to go to this game. I'm excited to, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a lot of like a mental prep for a big, rowdy, high, big rivalry college football game. I mean, college game day is going to be there. I mean, it's going to be a scene. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of crowds, a lot of noise, a lot of traffic, just a lot of everything. Now, hopefully, there's a lot of, merriment and joy and positive things, but I don't know, man. And now the three of the 4 tickets that we're going with are going to be the home team. Like we're aiding, we're bringing a rival to the stadium with us. Like we're contributing in the wrong ways.
It's a net positive though. You've got three Pitt fans and 1 WVU fan, so it's still +2 from the noise factor. You know what I mean? It sounds like really you're just becoming an old man like me, and you don't want to be around people anymore, and you just want to sit in your nice recliner and pop open a cold one and take a nap in the third quarter.
I mean, that all does sound really nice, but if I was like you, then you would feel the same way as me, and you don't. So there you go.
There you go.
Are you doing something, Scotty? Are you on your phone or
No.
something? Are you not? I mean, am I boring you? Is this a chore? What's going on with you today?
It's not a chore.
What are you looking at? Look at me. I'm here, right in front of you. Look at me. What's going on?
My camera, like when I'm looking at you, it's
Looks like you're putting a grocery list together or something like that. If you have things to do, like we don't have to do this, buddy.
I'm here right now.
Oi.
Listen, Silent Bob. Just
throw the dead fish in my lap, like moving on. To what? To what? There's nothing to move on to. You didn't even give me anything.
It's the week before the most wonderful time of the year. So like it's like that feeling right before Christmas where like you just want Christmas to start, but like it's not here yet. This is where we're at right now, where it's like so much amazing things are going to be happening, but we're just right before it. So it's like you're just tired of waiting. It's been so. This is the.
Well,
I
want to build. Give me some of that juice. I can't reach through and squeeze it out of you, buddy. Give me some of the excitement. Give me some of what you're pumped for. Tell me about Christmas morning, the presents. What are you hoping to see? What'd you ask for? All those things.
I'm hoping for an amazing draft weekend where we're gonna have we've got 2 drafts and 2 leagues now, and it's gonna be amazing. I got the number 1 pick in our family league.
Hold on, time out. We're gonna save some of that draft stuff for another episode. Actually, I should say it now. We're going to be. The show is going to be splitting in a sense. The general audience. Yeah, I'm talking to you, one viewer, one listener. You're more than welcome to join us in our other show, but we're going to be starting weekly, hopefully weekly. The Business Fantasy League. Preview, reaction, whatever show you want to call it, giving some updates from our fantasy football league, from our family league. So Scotty, I want to hear all of that stuff later though. So give me your excitement, but then I'll tell you if it's the right excitement. That's what's up.
It's a great way to keep the excitement going. That's for sure.
That's right. To stop you as soon as you get revved up. That's what I do.
That is what you do. I am excited to see the Cincinnati Bengals beat the crap out of the Steelers. Can I not say anything? Can I not say anything?
I didn't stop you.
I know. You got the head shake. Of course I'm going to be excited about watching my favorite team just coming off of a near Super Bowl victory. I'm going to be excited to see them play and start the season off at home against the Steelers, against Mitch Trubisky. Like, I'm really excited to see them potentially just destroy the Steelers. I think that'll be really cool. Hopefully it happens. I mean, we don't want to jinx it or anything, but like, that's a really exciting thing. Got a brand new offensive line. Joe Burrow's the healthiest he's been since college. They got 3 of the best wide receivers in all of football. They got a great defense. They're going to be really good. And I'm sorry that this is upsetting to you because your team isn't going to have a quarterback for the first 11 games of the season. So they're probably not going to make the playoffs this year, despite the fact that they're in the middle of a window of an otherwise successful season. I know that makes it a little salty. Why you have to roll your eyes and everything. That is what I'm really excited about. I'm excited for some good old-fashioned AFC North football with the leaves turning, yellow and orange and that little fresh, crisp smell in the air. And you're like, it's game day. That's going to be cool. That's what I live for, man. It's the best time of the year, and we're almost there. Is that the hype?
You got the dismount, but we're gonna have to rebrand the show to be a Bengals, Browns, and nothing else show.
I forgot. We need to make sure we cater to our fans in the LA market and talk a little bit about the Rams and stuff too. Okay, sure. No one wants to hear that.
Well,
we could talk about how aren't rosters getting finalized like over the next couple of days. There's been a lot of moves.
There's been
even today.
There's been tons of moves. Surprise
like the
cuts.
Ravens,
Kenyon Drake. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Just because we.
Drake. Why did we lead off with Kenyon Drake?
But Scotty, what you have to understand is like,
this is how it leads into our fantasy league, though, because like these impact us in fantasy. Sure, we don't care about, watching the Ravens play, but
Andrew, 1 second here. My point, Scotty, is that we don't have to talk about certain things so that people that might be watching or listening can get that information. We're not a news outlet, but was there there's nothing since the last time we recorded in the last month. There's nothing in the sports world that's even interested you that you even want to talk about or find interesting. That's what I'm trying to say. The only interesting thing is like the guard that you upgrade. The Bengals upgraded the backup guard. They got good depth now. Like that's all I'm getting every time. So I'm not like it's fine. I'm just saying. That's my point.
You asked me what I was excited about, and I told you, and then you gave me crap about being excited about my favorite football.
You said this is the time of year you live for. This is your moment, and all you could give me is Joe Burrow week 1. Like that's all you got. That's all you gave me.
What else is there? You can only focus
exactly. That's my point, Scott. That's the problem. There's plenty of things. I mean, don't you like baseball? Are the Phillies like playing for a wild card spot? I mean, that's happening right now. Bryce Harper just came back. We have there's things to talk about, but you are laser focused in on T. Higgins like red zone percentage. I mean, what are we doing here?
There is a ton of things to talk about, but you asked me what I was excited about, and I told you what I was excited about. Let's talk about something else. I'd be more than happy to talk about the Phillies and their pursuit for the playoffs. If we would like to go down that route, I don't care.
I would. Would you like to?
Sure.
Let's talk baseball.
They lost the last 2 games. They got blown out by Arizona, which is not good. Even though Bryce is back, their pitching is just they got so many injuries. How about those Padres, Kev? How they doing?
It's struggling right now.
Yes, they are.
Tatis.
I know. The dude's
out forever.
Yeah, that was. Good thing he's young because he's got a lot to make up for. Because that's looking right now like a bad.
They made
decision.
Blockbuster moves though.
Oh yeah,
so,
they did. I mean, we talked.
Did you guys even talk about? You talked about that stuff?
I'm pretty sure we talked about Soto. Yeah, we talked about a lot of that stuff. Yeah, but you gotta win, man. You gotta make it to the dance. I mean,
you do. Yeah, you do.
Freaking Dodgers over here, like a 20-game lead on the whole league. It's irritating. It's irritating.
They're the first in 90 wins, so feels
Basil. Good. Yeah.
This year.
Andrew, who's going to be the leading? We're jumping around now because now I don't know how much time we've got. Sky's got to go in 6 minutes. Andrew, who's going to be the leading receiver for the Green Bay Packers?
Oh my God. So I think if you look at the current depth chart, it's listed as Alan Lazard as the number one, but I think that Amari Rogers is going to eventually.
Amari Rogers. That's a
Spoilers.
deep cut. That's a deep track.
It is, I
It
know, but
is.
I have some faith.
He's gotten
I
zero
think
buzz.
I know.
So why would you think that this guy that's been nobody's talking about him? Why would you think that he's going to be the guy? I'm not saying you're wrong.
Because here's the thing: is Aaron Rodgers has historically done pretty well with random ass people. Like when Ty Montgomery was on the Packers, like it was like, oh, okay, well, I can't throw to like my best guys, so I'll just hit up Ty Montgomery, and then he becomes like basically an all-star in like one game. So I think that with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you can elevate those younger guys and like actually do a lot of surprising things.
I agree with that. The only thing I'll say is that just strictly from a fantasy football perspective, I think it's gonna be very inconsistent week over week because of like there's gonna be 1 week where like one dude is just gonna score 3 touchdowns and the next week he might not even catch a pass. You know what I mean? I think that's how it's gonna be for the Packers offense.
I mean, over the offseason they got Sammy Watkins. But like, you know, their top 3 I think are listed as like Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, and Sammy Watkins. So it's like if you're looking at if you're looking at that, it's like, well, what can they actually do? And I think that they're like big draws that they're gonna have to train up these younger guys that they kept and like signed on. So it's like Amari Rogers and Watson. I forget his first name, but he's like the other rookie. Christian Watson, yeah. So, yeah, I think that they're going to have to do some like amazing things with not like ideal scenarios, but you know, if there's one quarterback that I think that could pull it off, it is Aaron Rodgers. So
it's Patrick Mahomes. You're right. Okay. So before we get going here, so next week we're going to go before Thursday night, before the season officially kicks off. We're going to do our division winners predictions. But for right now, and this can be subject to change, but if you had to say right now, and I'm going to make you say right now, who are your AFC and NFC champions at the end of this year? Andrew, you can start. I gave you tons of time to prepare for this question, so I know this will be an educated guess. Scotty, you can start.
All right. Obviously, for the AFC, I think my Cincinnati Bengals are going to repeat as AFC champions. I think there's a lot of history and precedent based on how good the team was last year and the things that they've done to improve in the offseason. They're only going to be better. The NFC side, I think it's a little bit more difficult. And I would have to say, while the Rams, I would not be shocked if the Rams get to the championship game. It just feels like this is going to be some conspiracy to put Tom Brady in the Super Bowl one last time. So I think it'll be the Bengals-Bucks Super Bowl.
Bengals-Bucks. Drew, you got one? Bengals-Bucks.
Well, so, I mean, obviously, just as a homer here, I'm going to say that I hope the Packers win the NFC. The AFC, I mean, the Bengals on paper do seem like they're going to be just fine this year.
But
I don't want to say that the Bengals will be the AFC champions. I'm thinking that we're going to have to lob that way across the country over to Denver, and I think that the Broncos this year might take it.
Wow, that's a bold move. I like that call,
yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Damn. So you got Broncos and Packers. Oh, classic. Good old classic 90s Super Bowl.
That's right.
Go Brett Favre.
So right now in this moment, could change in the next moment. But right now, in this moment, I'm thinking that it will also be the Packers, even though, provided that they get a little OBJ signing, a little mid-season, once he's able to come back. Yeah, how about that? And then the AFC, we got to go Buffalo. I mean, we're going Buffalo Bills, baby. Bills, Packers, Super Bowl 50, whatever. 55? What Super Bowl is it? Doesn't matter.
I think it's 55.
Okay, cool. Close guess.
54.
All right, that's it. What a sloppy mess this was. But hey, sometimes
A little rusty.
It's
It's preseason. It's preseason for everybody.
Yeah,
I was just trying to get back on the credits, to be honest.
That's right. You need some Kev coins. That's what happens when we don't record for weeks at a time, Scott.
Well, it's the season now. It's time. Let's go.
The new dawn. It's
all right. Well, commitments then. We have commitments. We're committing to each other, to one another, to the spirit of the cast.
I got nothing else to do. Wednesdays at 5 every week. Let's go. It's a perfect time. It's right before Thursday Night Football. We've seen all the aftermath of the previous weekend's done. It's the perfect day to do it.
It's funny. Wednesday is usually the slow day in like the radio sports news scene, but
that's why
we're going to fill the gap.
We're going to make it big. That's right.
Woo!
Perfect market.
All right. We're out. It's over. It's done. Bye.
Bye.
Are you actually leaving? Oh.
He did.
Dumbass. What a fucking dumbass.